Hi, folks. It's Marvin Musick with MedicareSchool.com and Enlighten You. Right now, I know you are getting bombarded with ads and probably phone calls and lots of activity because we're in the midst of the Medicare open enrollment period, October 15th to December 7th. And so I just want to shoot this brief video and make sure that you're very clear as to what you need to do. And so I've jotted several notes down here because I want you to know what you need to do and when you need to do it. So first off, let's talk about those of you watching this. Most of you are on supplemental plans. In other words, you're enrolled in Medicare A and B, and you bought a supplemental plan to fill in the gaps. Now, some of you are on F plans right now, and I would encourage you, if you are on an F plan, if you can medically qualify, you may want to move to a G plan. Many people that can health qualify are very happy with the newer rates and the lower rates with G plans, so you may want to consider that. If you have a G plan, there's really nothing you have to do. In my opinion, G plans are still your very best value. Now, we have a lot of people call and want to know what their price is going to be for the next year, and so we want to make sure you understand that companies are not taking price increases this time of the year because companies normally take price increases at the policy anniversary date. And so if you had a supplemental plan written in July, then next July, that's when they'll notify you about a price increase. They typically give you a 30 to 60-day notice of that price increase. So just because we're in open enrollment, keep in mind that we're not going to know exactly the details of your price increases for supplemental plans. That happens at anniversary date. Now, we do have a couple carriers that do theirs in the spring of the year, regardless of anniversary. United Healthcare would be one of those companies, and around April or May, they will let you know what that price will be. So they don't notify us, so there's no way that we can give you any kind of indication as to what those prices are going to be. So if you're on a supplemental plan, you really have to do nothing because, again, this period of time is for drug plans and advantage plans. Okay, so let's talk about switching drug plans. So we have standalone drug plans. And so here's some things that, number one, I want you to do as we switch. First off, be sure that you have reviewed your annual notice of change. That's called the ANOC. Now, the carriers were supposed to send that to you October the 1st, and most times that happens. But if you don't have it, you can certainly call them and they'll let you know. But be sure to open the envelope and see what they're going to do for the coming year. Now, the truth is, only about 10% of all people are going to need to change their drug plan. And that's because the drug plan they're on is still going to be the best fit for them into the next year. All right, but you do want to make sure that you know what's going to be changed. So in the ANOC, here's what you're looking for. Number one, what is the premium for 2022? Some of the carriers actually went down, some went up a little bit, and we actually had one plan that actually tripled in price. So open that envelope to be sure you know what the premium is going to be for 2022. Secondly, you want to see if your medications are still covered. And what the annual notice of change will do, will list all the medications that have been dropped from the formulary. And if you're on a medication that's been dropped, you're probably going to need to switch plans. And then thirdly, you're looking for tiering changes. Every medication covered on the plan is going to be given a tiering number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And every year we'll see some of the plans re-tier some medications. You could be on a medication this year, it's a tier 2, they bump it to a tier 4. Or you're on a tier 3, they bump to a tier 5. And when they make those kind of tiering changes, sometimes that can drastically affect your copay. I've seen it go up $150 to $175 a month just through a tier change. So pay attention to the tiering changes if you've been impacted by any of those. So premium, are your meds still covered? And are there any tiering changes? And so after you've done your review, if you still like the plan and it's still, meds are still covered and we're happy with the premium, then you don't have to do anything. When you do nothing, that plan will automatically renew into the coming year. And that's the default mode. So do nothing, it auto renews. I just want to make sure that when it auto renews, you took the time to make sure through the ANOC that you want that to be your same plan for the coming year. All right. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to look over those details of that plan. Now, some of you are going to need to switch plans, meaning they've dropped a medication, they've re-tiered something, or the premium's drastically changed. And so we actually have two ways in which you can switch drug plans. Now, folks, I'll be honest with you. I wish that we could do this for every single one of our clients. We just simply can't because the drug plans don't pay us to shop these drug plans every year. We set it up for you the first year, make sure everything is going smoothly. But after that, you have got to take some action here. And so we have two ways to switch plans. This is the one that most of you can do. You can do this on your own. You can go to this website. It's MedicareSchoolEnroll.com. And this is a resource that we put a lot of money into and time into to make sure that you can be on the right drug plan. And so when you go to this site, there's going to be a couple things you're going to do. Number one, you should have some login credentials. So if we set all this up for you in advance, and you should have been given those. So that would be your username and your password. Hopefully you still have those. If you don't have those, then you can always create an account. And be sure to save your username and password because all this information is to save for you year to year. So once you've logged in with username and password, then you're going to do a couple things. Number one, I want you to update your medications. Be sure, because they're all saved, be sure you put in the right dosage and right frequency, the right medication. So if the docs change your dosage or frequency, be sure to update that. If you've dropped the medication from last year to this year, then delete the medication. If you've added anything, so be sure to update your meds, and then you can confirm the pharmacy. So wherever you want to go get your meds retail, then you can put that in there. And there's also an option to show you what mail order prices would be as well. And so be sure to update the medications, update your pharmacy, and then what it's doing, that site is taking all the plans in your zip code and it's putting them in order of coverage and cost. And so it does all the shopping for you and it puts them in order. And so the plan at the very top is going to be the lowest cost, and it's just going to keep increasing. So I'd encourage you, take the plan that's at the top. Unless the plan that you're on right now maybe is number 2 and is still very close and you don't want to switch, that is fine. But typically take the one at the top because that is going to be your best value. And it'll give you the option to add to cart. And so when you add to cart, it's going to take you to an enrollment application that will take you probably 10 minutes at most to be able to enroll in that plan. So what will happen is the plan you're on now is yours until midnight of December 31st. But when you do this application online, it will automatically kick out the old plan, and the new plan that you selected will go into effect January the 1st, and they'll mail you, of course, new cards for that. All right, so it automatically kicks it out once you do that enrollment. You don't have to call your present company and cancel that. It will happen through the system. All right, so that's those of you who need to switch, and this is something that we provided for you as a resource for you to do on your own. Again, it will not take you that long. So every year you need to go through and do this. Now, some of you may not be comfortable with this. You just feel like you want a second opinion. And so we have contracted with a third party this year and actually negotiated a very good price, and it is called RxPlanCompare.com, and you can go to this particular site, and there you can ask them to do all this work for you. And I think if your medications are 8 or less, then they do it for a $25 fee, and it's well worth it if you don't want to do this on your own. And if you have above 8, I think the fee's like $40. It's unlimited then for medications. But this is an independent company. They're not agents. They're not going to enroll you in the plan, but they will take exactly what you need to do. They'll do all the comparison, and they've really have a wonderful system, very competent to be able to help you do this. So those that don't feel comfortable, number 2, then go here and you can have that company assist you through this whole process, and then you'll know for sure that you're going to be on the right plan. All right, so that's what you need to do to switch your drug plans. And so again, we provide these tools for you because we know how important it is for you to be on the right drug plan. Take 10, 15 minutes and get it all set up, and I know that you'll be happy with your decision going into 2022. Again, thanks so much for giving us the privilege to serve as your Medicare agents.